Hey everyone, here to take you through the getting started process on Freeplay. I'm going to show you how we can go from getting our first prompt into the system all the way through to a comparative side-by-side test that tells us what the best model is for our use case. We're going to do it all in under 2 minutes. So I've copied and pasted my prompt into the Freeplay prompt editor here. You can see the thing that we're trying to do is we take a given blog post and we're going to write a social media post to promote that on the platform of choice. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to upload my data set here. So in this case, I have my data set stored as a CSV. I'm going to upload that into Freeplay. And now this will be accessible for me to load directly into the playground here. And I can hit run and see how my prompt is performing. I'm going to open a few side-by-side versions here, and we're going to save some different versions with different models. So we'll make use of Claude 3.5 Sonnet here. And we'll open another version and we'll make use of a Gemini model here. Awesome. And so I can actually run these right here in the playground, and I can go ahead and get this side-by-side view of how each different version is performing across these prompts. But the next thing I want to do, I want to get to a quantifiable decision about which model is the best. So I'm going to save each one of these prompt versions here. And then we're going to go ahead and set up an evaluation. So just for the sake of this demo, I've already set up a couple evaluations, but I want to show you how easy they are to set up. So we're going to set up a new evaluation. In this case, we're going to go with a model graded evaluation, and we're going to set up something to measure how faithful we are being to the blog post. So we'll say output faithfulness, determine how faithful we are to the given blog post. And we'll do this on a 1 through 5 scale. When I hit next here, what's going to happen is Freeplay is going to take a look at our underlying prompt, the way we've described this evaluation, and it's going to craft an LM as a judge eval prompt for us. This is just a starting point. We can fully customize it from here if we'd like to, but for now I'm going to leave it as is, and I'm just going to choose which model we want to use for this evaluator, and I'm going to save the evaluator. Now the next thing we're going to do here, we're now that we have our different prompt versions, we have our eval suite set up, is we are going to run a test, and we're going to decide which one of these models is performing best for our use case. So I'm going to run my first test, and I want to do a side-by-side comparison here. So I'm going to go ahead and add some comparisons. So I'm going to compare to my different versions here. And we'll let those go ahead and run for a second. I'll pause the video real quick and come back. All right, so jumping back in, our tests have now completed. We see a side-by-side of all our different prompt versions using these different models here. And I can make a choice about which one I feel like is performing best. It looks to me right off the bat that my Gemini 2.5 is performing the best in this case. I will note that there's a higher latency. It's a better model, so it's not terribly surprising. In this case, it looks like the balance of everything, I would personally go with Claude 3.5 Sonnet for this use case. So this gives me a jumping off point to know which model I want to start with. From here, I can hook into observability, and this is the process I can go through every time I want to now make a change to my prompt and start working on this thing in production. So that's getting started in Freeplay. Thanks.